Gentrification has become one of the strongest epidemics fighting countries all over the world. For those of you who don't know, gentrification is the process of renovating and improving a house or a district to conform to the taste of the middle class. What the definition does not tell the audience is that most of these areas that are being gentrified are already occupied. These areas and homes belong to people who are not as fortunate as the middle and upper class families who will be the new owners of these neighborhoods and houses. Every day, people are being forced out of their homes because of the rise in cost of where they live or have been living for years. Generations have come to build these neighborhoods and to bind them and to make them into a cultural investment, which means much more to them than just a place to live. I come from Chicago, Illinois, which as of 2012 has become one of the victims of gentrification. Prior to 2012, Chicago's mayor took a bid for the 2016 Olympics, which he did not win. But in preparation, he began to tear down project buildings in underprivileged neighborhoods across the city to build housing for the Olympics. Chicago suffered an extremely hard hit. It lost so much of its population, and in the time, a rise of violence began. People were out of their homes with nowhere to go. Their neighborhood was all they had ever knew. They were forced out with small checks that would put them in worse areas than they were before. Most of the people were African American. Contrary to what people think, this has occurred all over the nation and furthermore all over the world. Heavily in the nation's capital, where historically Black communities are being torn down and turned into completely different places and priced at the very top dollar so that people living there before could not afford it. In Lagos, Nigeria, fishing wells are now being cut down and areas where people use their ponds and lakes for fishing are now being broken down to build beach houses for the rich in the country. This is against humanity. People deserve the option to whether or not they want to change, and they should not be forced out of their homes. Anyone with a heart should care about what is happening to these people, and being forced out of their houses is never, ever something that we should want. This could happen in your community. And furthermore, these are the ways that you can stop it. First, increase your community involvement. Become a part of your community. Host town halls, and if your community already has town halls, attend them. Attend them because it will teach you what's going on in your community and in neighboring communities. You can learn more about how you can help your community for anything, not just gentrification. Secondly, inform each other. Inform your neighbors and inform your surrounding neighbors about upcoming elections, about town hall meetings, or anything that you all feel that you can do to save your community or that you can do to bring your community to life and rise up as a community. Don't just live in your community. Be a solid part of it. You live there. You care about it. You love it. And so show that you do. Because when these investors come around, they'll be afraid of a community that is so tightly bound and so tightly wound that they are not willing to just give up where they live. Make that your community. Third, vote. You are given the basic right by your nation to vote. Allegedly, our nation is a democracy. Use it. Use that democracy to your advantage. Vote for elected officials who believe in the same things that you believe in, so that when that time comes, or if that time ever comes, those elected officials will go to bat for your community because they already know what you believe in. Use those basic rights that you are given. They will come in handy. And lastly, stay alert and educated. Educate yourself on the issues concerning your neighborhood and neighboring communities. Read books, read articles on what's happening in other neighborhoods and all around the world, because those things could come to happen to you, and you can always see the signs when you're educated. It sounds like a lot, but it makes a huge difference. Gentrification is a global issue, and it cannot be repaired overnight. But the things that you begin to do today can save your neighborhood someday. The things you do for your neighborhood can inspire others to save their own neighborhood or can help them see the signs that it's happening to them. People are forced out of their homes every day at the hands of the rich, and it's sickening that they feel that there's nothing they can do about it. This is true in some cases, but in most cases you can instill the right leaders in your communities, and you can fight the investors who want to try to use your community for a check. Make sure that you stay involved in your community. Thank you.